Hey everybody, it's Woobits! We are playing Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth. And we just spent a very long time clearing up that, what is this incredibly overpowering sweet scent? It's something I've never smelled before, is it? Von Karma, did you bathe? It smells like flowers. Ugh, the worst.
Uncle Bad, is this it?
Isn't that Detective Bad and Kay over there? It looks like she managed to escape the bailiff.
No, that's not quite it.
Oh, too bad, but it's so pretty.
I think you're still a bit too young to be wearing that. Perfume? What are you, trying to get a boyfriend? Huh. But since you found it, I guess I can let you keep it.
Thanks, I'll treasure it, always!
Those two seem to be getting along rather well. A little oddly well. Considering Bad is, I thought he was bad and not good.
Oh, here, I got something else for you.
Yay, thank you, Uncle Bad! Ooh, a Swiss cake roll! Earlier, I ate one of these with Gummy.
Gummy? Oh, you mean gumshoe.
Gummy is... He was trying to be nice to me because I was gonna get in trouble. And then he got in trouble because he lied to protect me. Gummy... I know he didn't kill Daddy!
Don't cry. Faraday would be sad if he saw you crying.
I'm not crying!
Okay.
Oh, it's the mister from before and the lady too!
Don't you think it would be a good idea to go home for the time being?
You're not involved in the investigation, so it's time for the best if you do. Actually, I'm Uncle Bad's assistant, so I'm related to the investigation.
Is that so, Detective Bad?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Let her do what she wants. It's nowhere use fighting it. She's just gonna stick around anyway. You'll find out about that eventually.
What? You were just scolding us like kids not mess up the crime scene. And now you let this little actual child run free? Why?
People are free to investigate things outside of the actual crime scene. You also had a few things she wanted to look into. Got a problem with that?
I don't have a problem with that, but I am curious as to what Mr. Yu is looking into.
Uncle Bad, I'm gonna go look somewhere else now, okay?
Alright, I'm counting on you.
Oh, that's right. Hey, mister!
Yes, what is it?
I know Gummy really isn't the bad guy. I mean it. So, please, find the real bad guy, okay?
I won't forgive whoever did this, but in the absence of the perfect piece of testimony and evidence, there is no one else who could be the true culprit other than Detective Gumshoe. She wandered off while I was pondering. Hey, don't wander off while I'm pondering. I'm thinking of something great to say. Oh. I don't sit here tapping my logic button for hours and expect someone to not hear the results from it. Francisca. No, I don't want to talk to you, sis. Ugh. Detective Bad, what exactly was Kay searching for?
Nothing that concerns you, boy.
Oh? And I suppose it has something to do with Kay?
It does, because she's Faraday's daughter. Anyway, hurry up and get to the point. I don't have time to waste.
It sounds like he'd rather be left alone. I have something I'd like to confirm with you once again.
I don't have anything to say to you.
Wow, finger right in his face. Be that as it may, we still have questions that we need answers to. Now then, first of all, what is the overpowering smell that is permeating this room? Upon entering this room, I thought I was going to suffocate.
It's that ultra-strong perfume you wears. She spilled some of it. I was having a bad time of it myself. I didn't think twice and opened the window, but that smell's still here.
Perfume,
So the sweet scent in the air is perfume.
Well, it's giving off quite a stench. I bet it's some cheap, no-name brand.
She said it's a famous brand from overseas.
It's a knockoff. Yes, definitely a knockoff.
No disrespect, but she forced one of those bottles on me. Here, little girl, you can have it.
I was born for a much more expensive and refined perfume. A fine woman such as myself. However, seeing as you just happen to have a spare, I suppose I shall take it, thank you. Master, you will hold on to this bottle without fail! But first, let me just put a little... Oh, that's pretty nice, actually.
Ugh. Why can't she ever be honest about her once? Just take it, just take the perfume. It's alright. So now we have the perfume Miss Yu wears. Just fantastic. That's going to be evidence of Miss Yu doing something suspicious.
Is that all you wanted to talk about? If so, I'm going back to investigating.
Actually, I still have a few other things I wish to inquire about. Alright. See what we can pull out of him. So you were in this room the entire recess.
Like I said, I made a call to the precinct to get that big lug down here. But other than that, I was waiting for the recess to end in here.
At least your story is consistent.
Earlier you stated that you were in this lobby with Miss Yu.
Yeah, I ran into her in the hallway. She said she wanted to talk to me about something, so we came in here.
Then what you're saying is that until Detective Gumshoe's arrival, you and Miss Yu were in two different locations.
Guess I am.
Interesting.
Speaking of that lawyer, she seems to have a great dislike for you.
Let's see, Miss Yu is the sister of the victim of the KG-8 incident. And as I recall, Detective Bad was the lead detective on the case. I wonder if the reason for her disdain isn't simply because you failed to guard Cece, but because you were the lead detective on the case.
You knew?
I also know that today's trial involving the Kodopian Embassy staff member is being referred to as the second KG-8 incident. Now then, Detective, I believe it's time you were honest with me, so I can just put my finger right in your face, and told me the truth behind your relationship with Miss Yu and Mr. Faraday, and the KG-8 incident.
If you already know that much, I guess it'd be alright to tell you.
Really? Well, let's get into it. Now that I'd like to ask you a few questions about the KG-8 incident.
It's not exactly a happy story. Other than the people who were directly involved, you two will be the first to hear what I'm about to tell.
Taking out his lollipop. It's not a cigarette, it's a lollipop.
The honest truth behind the KG-8 incident. Faraday, you, and I. As you already know, we three were involved with the KG-8 incident. Faraday and I, we were originally on the trail of a smuggling ring.
You mean the smuggling case involving one of the Amano Group's secretaries?
That trial was just a front.
A facade?
Yeah, but the case became tainted. All because the witness who was going to testify about the Amano Group's ties to the smuggling ring, CCU, was killed.
Then what became of the secretary who was arrested?
His name was Colin Deveray. To be honest, the guy didn't know a thing about the smuggling ring. But he confessed to knowing about it anyway. Deveray was probably being intimidated by the big boss man. Just another scapegoat.
The boss man of the Amano Group? He can't seriously mean Mr. Ernest Amano. That can't be right. It's probably just Detective Bad's personal hypothesis. What is he trying to do, suspecting Mr. Amano of being involved with the smuggling?
I suppose it would have been quite difficult to secure an acquittal after he confessed. But the man who killed CCU, Manikochin, was a completely different person. But since he's already been acquitted once of her murder, Mr. Faraday, how could you have let him go?
If I remember correctly, I heard that Mr. Faraday had an important piece of evidence stolen from him. That wasn't Faraday's fault. It was mine. I wasn't vigilant enough. Faraday, Cece, I was supposed to protect them both.
Miss, you didn't mention that as well. About how Detective Bad was supposed to guard her sister.
But even I, who was supposed to protect them, I fell into their trap.
What kind of a trap?
The holes in this jacket are a testament to that trap.
Huh? You mean you were fired upon? And they shot your collar a lot, but the rest of you was okay?
You were shot at that many times in one gunfight?
No. Only about half of these are from that case. But the reason I continue to wear this jacket is to remind myself of the lessons I learned from the KG-8 incident.
I see.
I couldn't protect CCU, and the suspect was found not guilty. We had hit a brick wall, as far as the law was concerned. And that's when she came to the courtroom, the victim's sister. That's when I first met Callisto Yu.
About when you first met Miss Yu, it was on the day the verdict of the KG-8 incident was handed down, was it not?
Yes, Faraday and I, we apologized to her from the bottom of our hearts. It was all we could do, but just saying you're sorry won't bring my sister back, she said. And then she gave me a hard slap across the face.
Well, she certainly had a lot of self-control to stop at just a slap. Me, I would have whipped you until you bled. If it was me, not even 100 lashes would have been punishment enough.
I suppose not. You said it herself, that she never wanted to see either of us ever again.
But after that, you've seen her many times over, correct?
Yeah, Faraday and I, even after the KG incident had come to a close, we continued to hunt down the smuggling ring and got involved in a variety of cases. But it was no use. We cracked so many different cases. But the result was always the same. We couldn't find the real mastermind behind the ring.
Is the ring really that big?
It was in the pursuit of the ring that we met you once again. It was during another trial related to the smuggling ring. Faraday was the prosecutor, and I, as the lead detective, took to the witness stand. She appeared out of the blue as the defense attorney.
Her client was related to the smuggling ring, and she was defending them.
Yeah. Was pursuing the ring as best she could as a lawyer. I think she defended Rel this time, for the same reason.
Come to think of it, Miss, you did say something to the same effect.
I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG-8 incident, alright?
And for that you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer.
Don't put words in my mouth. I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rel was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of covering for him, ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to.
It doesn't matter what her reason is. Helping a criminal is just despicable.
You're so naive, little girl. I could have stolen this lollipop from you. That's how naive you are. I'm saying you're a baby. You're a baby, and stealing candy from you would be like stealing candy from a baby.
How dare you insult the daughter of Von Karma?
Just like us, you felt that she had hit the limit of what the law could do. That's all.
The law is merely a tool. There is no limit to it.
only the skill of the craftsman. You two are still too young, but one day you'll know what I mean. But enough sidetracking. What matters is that we met you again in pursuit of the smuggling ring. That's all.
What about Faraday? So what is your relation to Mr. Faraday?
You even seem to know Kay fairly well. I met him when he was a rookie prosecutor. Known him ever since. And Kay? I've known her since the day she was born. Faraday and I, we cracked quite a few cases together.
You two seem to have made no progress at all in the Yatagarasu case. Did we touch on
I only have one thing to say to you. No one knew more about the Yatagarasu than me and Faraday. That's why I was called upon to testify in today's trial. To prove that Rel was not the real Yatagarasu. Which I would have done if he hadn't turned around and accused Faraday. After the accusation, I was asked to testify, but this time, to prove or disprove the accusation. But I guess I won't be doing that either.
I sense that there's more to that statement than meets the eye. Perhaps a bit more digging into the Yatagarasu is what's necessary. What do you know about the very difficult to pronounce thief? You claim to know much about the Yatagarasu. Would you care to share what you know with me?
What you two should be looking for right now is proof of murderous intent towards Faraday and Rel.
I agree, which is exactly why I'm asking you about the Yatagarasu.
What?
The KG8 incident and this second KG8 incident. Both of these cases are tied to the smuggling ring. And in both of these cases, the witness who was to testify about the ring was murdered. However, there's one point in which they differ, and that is the presence or absence of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Mr. Rel claimed to be the Yatagarasu. However, in the middle of the trial, he suddenly declared Mr. Faraday to be the real Yatagarasu. Then, during the recess, they were both killed. Don't you find that to be the least bit odd?
Miles Edgeworth, stop beating around the bush and just spit it out already!
I believe that there must be some reason that the two men suspected of being the Yatagarasu were both killed at the same time.
A reason?
And so in order to catch Mr. Faraday's and Mr. Rel's cold-blooded killer, I feel that I need to learn as much as I can about the Yatagarasu.
If it'll help you solve this case, then I'll tell you the reason why they've never caught the Yatagarasu.
What was that sudden outburst for? You almost made me whip you by accident. I was scared. I'm gonna do it anyway on purpose.
No! You'd still accidentally whip me anyway.
There are three main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. Third, the Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind, ever.
I see, so those are the Yatagarasu's special traits.
Sounds like an incredibly elusive thief.
The Yatagarasu has never been caught on tape, never tries to draw anyone's attention, and would never do something as lowbrow as commit murder. That's how I knew that Rel wasn't the real Yatagarasu right away.
But you can't use that sort of logic on its own to prove that he wasn't.
Listen, little girl, I'm not done talking yet. What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kodopian embassy, the Yatagarasu.
The Yatagarasu sent the evidence.
Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I, and a select few others knew about.
In that case, how can you be so sure that it was the Yatagarasu who sent it?
That's easy. A special card that only the Yatagarasu uses was attached. That's how I can be so sure.
And just what sort of card is it?
Here, take a look at this article. Whenever the Yatagarasu wants to publicize something, a white card is sent along with the stolen information. But when he questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was.
And that's how Detective Bad knew that Mr. Rel was a phony. Thank you very much. I have a much better understanding of the Yatagarasu now. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? His Honor would like to transfer the evidence from today's trial over to you. So if you could please head over to the courtroom, it'd be much appreciated, sir. Understood. I'll be there shortly. Detective Bad, what does the law mean to you?
Finding the answer to that question is the only reason I'm still alive.
I became a prosecutor to find the answer to that question myself, and to play a part in ensuring that all criminals everywhere are found guilty. Judge, you're on the wrong side of the court again! Judge, you go on that side! Fine, whatever.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. I hope he asks how I'm feeling.
It appears that His Honor is still a bit dispirited.
For the first time today, I experienced what it's like to stand at the witness stand. I now have a greater appreciation for just how hard it is to give testimony.
There's no reason for you to be all depressed about it, Your Honor. As a judge, nobody expects you to think about anything other than the verdict.
Francisca, there's no need to further depress His Honor.
But I'm not trying to, Miles.
Your Honor.
If only someone had a Swiss roll to give me, maybe that would increase my spirits.
Your Honor, I've come to collect the evidence that was to be transferred to me. Your Honor, the evidence... Your Honor!
Oh, you. Yes, sir. Can I help you? Have we met? Hello.
I'd like to collect the evidence now, sir.
Your Honor, do you think you can stay focused long enough to at least do your job?
Yes, I'm sorry. And I would expect that the defense attorney has yet to arrive.
She's busy with the investigation, so let's keep this brief, shall we?
Very well. In that case, please confirm that all the pieces of evidence are present. Furthermore, the evidence that was used in the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel are also included, so please go ahead and use them in your investigation into their case.
Understood, Your Honor. The pieces of evidence that were used in the murder of those two men. This could be a very good chance for me to find new leads regarding their case. And maybe even something that will finally lead me to the truth.
I place all of the evidence over at the prosecutor's bench for you.
I see. Thank you very much. I will go and confirm they are all accounted for. I also... Yeah, we're on this side, which normally it feels like we're on this side. But normally we see things... Hey, are there two judge tables over here? Oh, no, I see. This is the judge sits way up here. And then who sits down here? I don't understand these courts at all. You'd think I'd know by now, but I don't. So this is the evidence related to today's Kodopian Embassy trial from Mr. Faraday's bag.
You mean the evidence bags that was on the table in lobby number 2, right?
Yes, finally we can now take a look at the evidence itself, and not just data about them. Let's be sure to thoroughly examine them while we have the time.
Agreed. I want to take a good look at all of the evidence for the embassy murder too.
And why is that?
Because I still don't fully understand what today's trial was about.
Don't point your crop at me just because you don't know something.
And don't you try to order me around just because Papa chose you today.
I see someone is still sore about not being picked by Mr. Von Karma. You don't have a law, a license for law yet. You don't have a badge. You don't have a prosecutor's badge. It's also real to see the knife up close. So we have the knife, the gun, an envelope. And what's this organizer doing here?
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot to tell you.
About what, Your Honor?
They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside that evidence bag of his. Detective Bad requested it be passed along to you. He said it would help the investigation.
Detective Bad said that.
What a strange stroke of luck.
Well, never look a gift horse in the mouth. We might as well flip through it, too. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. This one seems relatively easy down here. Let's just go through the weapons. Wait, nope, I wanna... Oh, can I look at it? Oh, I didn't have it on the gun itself. This gun, it was originally used to kill the Kodopian embassy staff member. When the crime was reported, the responding police found Mr. Rell still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest.
And then this gun took the original shooter's life. How ironic. It's like rain on your wedding day.
Indeed, yes, no, please don't sing, Francisca. There doesn't seem to be anything we can learn, else we can learn from this piece of evidence. Yet. Anytime someone says there's nothing else to learn, it means there definitely is. Maybe. It's the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday.
Who would have thought that such a beautiful piece of art could be used for such a cruel act?
Well, it's a knife, so... Stabby, stabby. And it's never crossed your mind that you use your riding crop for the wrong purpose? It's a bit cruel as well, Francisca. Let's look through this. Mr. Faraday's organizer. It appears he was in the habit of using it.
Looks like he got his strategy for getting Mr. Rell convicted down here.
I've collected the evidence I need to prove that Rell was the killer. Between the handgun Rell had on him when he was arrested, it appears that Mr. Faraday honestly believed that Mr. Rell was the killer in this case. Sound his handgun going off was recorded with superb clarity in the surveillance video. I also have evidence that I can use to prove that Rell is not the real Yatagarasu. As he had proof that Mr. Rell was not the Yatagarasu. No matter how I may try to play it, as long as I have the Yatagarasu's key, I can prove he's a phono. If I present to him in court, it should clear everything up. Apparently, he also had a very definitive piece of evidence. It's been a long battle. I hope this will finally bring it to an end. Yes, I believe that Mr. Faraday was well prepared to discredit any claim Mr. Rell may have made about being the real Yatagarasu.
And he had a way to prove that Mr. Rell was a guilty party in the embassy murder.
This organizer is a clue straight from Mr. Faraday. I'll have to take my time and give it a thorough read later. Okay, alright. That's gonna be interesting.
Look, there's a picture stuck between these pages here.
It appears to be a key. Is this the key that is in Kay's hair later? And a rather
ornate one at that. Just look at the design on the handle.
The craftsmanship is superb. Could this be the Yatagarasu's key Mr. Faraday mentioned in his organizer?
The Yatagarasu's key?
Detective Bad said something earlier.
What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kodopian embassy, the Yatagarasu.
The Yatagarasu sent the evidence.
Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I, and a select few others knew about.
Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep the secret key safe.
As the prosecutor on both the Yatagarasu and smuggling ring cases, that's to be expected. Okay, Yatagarasu's key. That's odd.
What is it?
Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about a knife in his organizer.
That certainly is odd.
The weapon that was used to kill the Kodopian embassy staff member was the gun. But if that's the case,
Then where did the knife that was used to murder Mr. Faraday come from?
Isn't it obvious? It was brought into the courthouse by Mr. Rell. That's the only logical conclusion, right?
No, because it's not that easy to smuggle a weapon like that in here. Every person who enters the courthouse doors is checked thoroughly for contraband. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this inside.
In that case, how do you suppose this knife ended up inside the courthouse?
I need to think carefully here. There is nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag.
Is it the key?
Conversely, there is one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one else claimed to have seen today. So in order to solve this mystery, I believe I will need to take another good look at the evidence.
Miles Edgeworth, can I take the facts that you have yet to answer me to mean that you don't have the answer for me?
Actually, I do know the answer, Francisca.
What? Then what is it?
One of the pieces of evidence we've been holding has been hiding a secret of its own. And it was through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse.
I'm guessing not the pin. Probably the key? Is the key also a knife?
This Yatagarasu's key, Mr. Faraday mentions it in his organizer. This is how the knife was brought into the courthouse.
You're not making any sense, Miles Edgeworth.
You just need to look a bit closer, Francisca, to see what I mean. Doesn't the color and ornamentation of the key's handle remind you of anything?
They do remind me of the knife.
Very good. Both the Yatagarasu's key in this photo and the murderous knife have this very unique design on their handles. Furthermore, even though Mr. Faraday mentions the Yatagarasu's key, the only object we found at the crime scene was the knife.
You don't seriously mean to say?
It appears that you've finally caught up. And yes, I do mean to say that these two pieces are in fact one and the same.
But that's impossible!
Even if that is what you believe, we should still investigate this possibility. Now then, let us examine this knife in a little more detail.
Okay.
It's the weapon that was used to kill Mr. Faraday. The handle and the blade itself both have beautiful designs worked into them.
Look, there's even a flower-shaped design in the gold section here.
I think it's a switchblade because the whole thing is gonna flip out, and when it switches, the knife part gets covered, and the key will be revealed.
If this hadn't been used as a tool for murder, I'd want it for myself. It's quite beautiful.
She seems to be drawn to the embellishments. Too bad this isn't mine to give.
There we go.
I can't believe it turned into a key. To think there was such a trick to the thing.
So the weapon used to kill Mr. Faraday is actually the key Yatagarasu stole. This piece of information is more critical than anything we've learned up until now.
It's a neat design for a switchblade.
Frankly, I'm shocked.
Mr. Faraday only mentioned the key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It's possible that even he had no idea the key was hiding a knife blade inside.
But if that's true, then only someone who knew about the key to knife trick could have killed Mr. Faraday.
Even among law enforcement, this key was top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more about the key than Mr. Faraday. Meaning that the only person it could be is the one who sent the key in the first place. The great thief Yatagarasu.
Then maybe Mr. L really was the Yatagarasu. And he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Isn't that one possible scenario?
No, not really. Especially since Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. Rell was not the Yatagarasu. Besides, as Detective Bad said earlier, But when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was.
I see. Alright then, I guess the person who is behind this key is someone else, and that person is the real Yatagarasu.
It seems that this key is truly the key to solving this case.
Interesting. Alright. Well, we haven't looked at this envelope yet. Hopefully it's going to be just as interesting as that. I took a quick look through these documents before the trial started.
Well, I wasn't even afforded the opportunity to skim it.
I suppose I should explain it to you then.
Yes, you should. Perfectly and in its entirety, if you please, or just hand it to me. I'll read it to myself fast as you can talk, you foolish fool.
On the night of September 8th, an embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy.
He looked kind of like Nick Offerman.
The staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart. Mac Rel was brought in that night as a suspect and thoroughly questioned. Because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot.
A simpleton of a man, is that what he was?
Perhaps he was, for the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence we had. Mr. Rel was caught in the act on film by a security camera.
He was an even bigger simpleton than I thought. I can't believe he didn't notice a security camera.
The Kodopian Embassy's security system is supposedly very well designed. He may have simply not been aware that there was a camera in the area.
So have you seen the contents of the video for yourself?
Yes, the surveillance video the security camera took was played during the trial by Mr. Faraday. You can clearly identify Mr. Rel on it. Even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear.
So the footage included sound, huh? That's a little weird for security footage. I don't think I'd ever want to see the moment of someone's death in real life.
Me neither. That's odd. We're short one piece of evidence.
And the piece that's missing is the surveillance video that was played in court.
The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go?
The video showing the moment on which Mr. Rel committed the murder. Where could it have gone, indeed?
Are you done with your inspection of the evidence?
Yes, I'm finished. However, Your Honor, I am missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence.
Your Honor, were you derelict in your duties?
What? No, I dare not lick my duties. Would you take me for a duty licker? I would never. It's disgusting.
No, Your Honor. The most important piece of evidence in today's trial, the surveillance video, is not amongst the evidence you laid out for me.
But I brought Mr. Faraday's whole bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape is still somewhere at the crime scene?
There's something wrong here. Something about this missing piece of evidence. It would appear that for me to find the answers I seek, I will have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime, defendant lobby number 2.
I wanted to look at the other table and see what was on the defense okay. Who's this?